is verse number 143 and 144 of chapter 3, Surah Al Imran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Am hasibtum man tadkhulul jannata walamma ya'lamillahu allazina jahadu minkum wa ya'lam as-sabirin walaqad kuntum tamannawna al-mauta min qabli an talqahu faqad ra'aytumuhu wa antum tanzurun. The translation is, do you suppose that you will enter heaven while Allah has not yet distinguished those of you that strive in the way of Allah and has not yet distinguished the steadfast? And you used to wish for this death before you met it. Now that you have seen it at last, you stand watching as if transfixed.
Could Azura please kindly explain the meaning of these two verses?
Now, would you explain why you're asking this? What is confusing you?
By the first verse, it's that God hasn't distinguished the people who hasn't.
I thought that much.
And by the second.
Because some people believe that because Allah knows clearly who are righteous and who are not righteous, who will succeed in a trial or who will fail in a trial, so why should Allah wait for such a trial? Why should Allah not give His decision in favor of some and against some? This question is based on a fallacy. It has no justification, this question, because Allah only knows that which happens. If something was not to happen, how would Allah know it? Then His knowledge would be false. So this means that everything which comes to pass must come to pass. Otherwise, Allah would not know in advance what is to come to pass. So that meant that before passing His judgment, Allah waits for the events to take place. When they do take place, only then He is justified to pass His judgment, not otherwise. You understand this point clearly? Now, the second verse.
It's that He has shown that to these people,
yes.
And when they saw it,
they didn't decide. Now, there are other verses in the Quran which indicate that people, and some ahadith as well, joined together, they indicate that there were people who were left out of the battle of Badr. And among them, there were some who truly wanted to participate in the fight for the sake of Allah in future. And there were those who just boasted that if we were there, we would do this. It is to them that this verse refers, who boasted. That when they saw the death staring in their eyes, then they got transfixed, as though they were suffering from the pangs of death. So this is also something which had to take place. But there were among those who were true. They saw the reality of war only at that time. And for them we can say they stood transfixed. For a while they were dazzled. It's a very profound psychological statement. Because people, before they face the danger, they always say, we'll show you what we are. And many of them are proved false. And even those who are not false, when they confront death facing them, then for a while they lose their consciousness, or they lose for a while their will, because it's a same different thing to confront a danger than to talk of a danger. It is this situation which is being described in this verse.
What is the connection between these two words, with this distinguished and the seeing of the death?
This is what I have already said. Such people would only be distinguished when these things happen. And Allah will not pass His judgment upon them unless these things happen. Right?
Exactly.
كان سؤال حول الآية عفوا حول
Will
الآية
it take you 5 minutes?
around about, yes.
So I can leave in that safely, yeah?
You may, sir.
Now, instead of making it a quick translation, you take it easy. Huh? Okay. Assalamu alaikum.